That was so good.
Well, let's see. Barry Windham is going to be a curtain jerker here, right?
Well, listen, I don't think that being the first match on a TV special like this is a bad deal. I think there is some something to be said about starting out hot. Now, how much soul glow does Brad Armstrong have in his hair right here?
Yeah, he's it's literally dripping off of him right now.
Just let your soul glow. Yeah. Come on, hit us one, Tony. You're the singer.
Just get your soul. I can't get that high.
Just try it.
Soul glow. Yeah, baby.
Oh, look, it's.
Yes, sir, JJ. Rubbing your hands together. Yeah, Barry. Yeah, Barry. See, Barry can't look. Barry can't look. Barry can't look at JJ. He'll fall asleep. Yeah, 4 horsemen. Yeah, baby. Hey, this should be a good match, Conrad. Brad Armstrong was a hell of a worker, man. As they used to say, hell of a hand. A hell of a hand was Brad Armstrong.
I hear Tommy Young's
second generation wrestler.
Too.
Wait, we got to take a fucking break and talk about Hanes underwear. Son of a bitch. And I thought we were starting the show. We're taking a break already. Come on back with us, motherfuckers.
But
3.
At least you have a fucking ad, you know? I mean, like a real sponsor. It was rare for you guys back here.
When we come back on Clash of the Champions, Brad Armstrong and Barry Windham and Jeff Carr will be jerking off in the back. Turner executive.
So, Jeff Carr, why was he jerking off?
He was a real big wrestling fan. And he was also, he really felt he ran things, but he was just like an assistant program director type dipshit. By the way, Teddy Long is your referee here, I do believe.
Yes, he is. He's moved up in the 2 years. You know, last week we talked and he was just carrying ring jackets to the back. 2 years later, check him out, man. He's in the ring.
Right. I think, of course, I don't remember every move in every match, as we well know. But I have a feeling this had a great chance to be a great starting match. Because as you know, Brad Armstrong's dad was a fireman in Marietta and a former Marine.
My boy.
Back they go to the corner. That was my Gordon Soley impression.
So, chat me up here. Legit talk, real talk here.
Oh boy.
Who's got more soul glow in their hair? Brad Armstrong or Teddy Long?
It's Brad Armstrong because he got more hair. A lot more hair.
I hear you, playa. So, these boots here, I've always wanted to talk about these boots because Barry Windham had them. Dusty Rhodes had them. Dustin Rhodes had them. I believe Austin Hall was the maker. Did you ever hear the guys talk about their boots?
Yeah, Austin Hall was the boot maker. They talked about that a lot. Wouldn't you have in some of those boots that you have collected throughout your years have an Austin Hall tag on it somewhere?
No, I don't have any Austin Hall boots. Oh, I guess I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I got those dusty ones, but I don't have like that, like the flamboyant. I guess it's like a Flying Eagle style or something like that.
Yeah, right. Well, anyway, what the heck we got here? Are they kissing? I think that was Beth Flair actually in the audience there. Whoa, through the legs goes Brad Armstrong, and a great hip toss down goes Barry Windham. Brad Armstrong way up high with a side headlock takeover, and he's got Barry Windham down. Windham trying to get up. Teddy Long slides on that soul glue down to make the 3 count. Only got a 2. Getting pumped up, getting ready for another episode of Major League Wrestling Fusion. We'll be going to New York pretty soon during that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you being there.
Yeah, I am too,
It's
man.
like a battle riot or something, I think you guys are calling it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there's going to be more than just our TV tapings. There's going to be some matches. Look
at the way Barry Windham just got out of the ring. You know, he is like 6'7" and moves like he's 5'7" sometimes. Just everything looks effortless and fluid.
Well, if you go back, and I know he became the world champion, the NWA world champion, and we talked about his title reign. We even saw him win it on one of our earlier editions, which, by the way, is in the archives. I never thought he got his due. I mean, he could have been a guy that could have held on to the world title for a long time. But the unfortunate thing about Barry Windham was he was up and was wrestling during the Ric Flair era, right?
Yep. You know, but I think a lot of people think, excuse me here, he was at the height of his game in like 86. And here in 88, he's not that far removed from it. But by the time 93 rolled around, it didn't feel the same.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. And of course, he had turned heel on the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, right before this time, and that's why he was a heel. And he was a great baby face, you know, America's, what were they called? The American, what were they? He and Rotunda in the WWE, WWF called?
Oh, man.
The USA Express, the American Express.
Like,
they wrestled the first match ever on Saturday night's main event. Anyway. Hey, I always like Miami. Miami's one of my favorite towns. You like Miami?
I do like Miami, but I'm curious why it's your favorite town.
I just think it's cool. It's hip. The weather's pleasant all the time. A lot of great restaurants, Starbucks on every corner. Beautiful women.
US Express is the name you were looking for. You had it right.
US Express. Yeah. Again, beautiful women. You
ever go to the Fountain Blue down there?
I never did go to the Fountain Blue, but I have had dinner on South Beach, and that's a feast for the eyeballs. Woohoo! Is it ever?
The bar in the Fountain Blue is pretty legit, but I ate dinner at the restaurant down there several years ago, like right off the bar, and it was the first time I'd stayed there, and I was with some locals who I had been like long distance friends with, but I hadn't been like, you know, real life friends. You've had one of those before where you talk a lot online or on the phone or whatever, but when you actually go to their city for the first time, it's not exactly what everybody expects maybe. Well, I guess they just thought I was a little more redneck than I really am. And I am redneck, Roll Tide. But they were like trying to talk to me like I was, I don't know, like slower and louder, like I'm deaf and I don't know. Right. And so anyway, the special that night was, creamy polenta, and I just couldn't help myself. So I ordered the placenta and I kept referring to it as that throughout the evening. And everyone, like the waitress, was very uncomfortable. It was a waiter. He was very uncomfortable. And anyway, placenta.
So no sense of humor down there, apparently.
Well, I think they were like, you know, you're supposed to be stuffy or whatever. And I'm very much not that way. Like, you know, hey man, I'm going to do me. If you want to be buttoned up and wear a fucking tie to dinner on a Saturday night, that's on you. I ain't doing it.
They kept saying, Conrad, would you like a Sea Breeze and Stoli? Yeah. You know, that's a Sea Breeze. That's got Stoli vodka in it.
Who the fuck drinks Stoli? Is that a Lois drink? She drinks Stoli?
No, listen, Ric Flair, motherfucker, used to drink Sea Breeze and Stolis all the time.
No.
A Stoli Sea Breeze all the time. Yes, he did back in the 80s.
He poured them in plants.
Okay.
That's what he did.
He ordered them then. Okay.
Yeah, he
did pour a lot of drinks in plants.
He ordered a bunch of them because Stoli's the cheap shit. And so you can have a big tray and they're cheap and you're mixing it with horse shit. It doesn't matter. Besides, before Rick hung up his drinking boots, did you know what his most recent kick was before he gave it up completely?
No.
So he would occasionally do he wouldn't just order a Miller Lite. It would be a cold Miller Lite. Like all three words had to touch. Or he would do, vodka soda, vodka cranberry if he was on a health kick. But my favorite, no, I'm serious. He's got a whole Lex Luger theory about the cranberry. He's like, you know, whatever the vodka does bad, the cranberry balances out because the cranberry is good for you. So you can take a little bad with a little good, and then it all cancels itself out. It's not nearly as bad. Trust me, my dad's a doctor. I know. And so then, you know, when it was really time to enjoy, he would get a glass of red wine. But here's the twist. He would fill the glass with ice. He would get ice all the way to the top and then pour like Mark West red wine over it.
Which would water down the wine and it wouldn't be as bad for you.
No, he just wanted it cold. He didn't want to drink room temperature shit. He wanted it cold. And people would look at him crazy because sometimes he'd order decent wine like La Crema or something. And he'd say, hey, and a cup of ice. And they would bring it like on the side. And he's like, no, honey, I need a big old wine glass, fill it full of ice all the way to the brim, and then pour that Mark West over it.
Well, we looked at Flair like he was crazy his entire career. So what else is new? And the fact is, if he thinks that cranberry cancels out the vodka,
and then
cranberry juice, then he's finally working himself.
No, yeah, he worked himself for a long time, but now he is, as the kids say, woke.
Woke?
So, yeah, he's woke. Are you woke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be drunk. Now I'm woke.
There you go.
Good for him. Hey, we're talking over a pretty good match here because Brad is a hell of a performer.
I'm glad
his dad was a Marine and a fireman in Marietta, by the way.
Well, and he'd cut a move down in Boaz too. I actually saw his dad wrestle in Boaz several times.
Did you really?
Yeah. Old Bullet Bob.
Bullet Bob, man.
Probably about like 96, 97, 98. Bullet Bob was still working, man.
I bet he was, man. And toking that weed probably too.
You have a Bullet Bob impression?
No, I don't.
How about old JJ pulling the one leg up on the outside?
How about that cheating motherfucker? Yeah, no, motherfucker. He wasn't cheating. Fans behind JJ right there.
Well,
how about these
fairness,
80s haircuts we're seeing too?
Dude, that dude's Hard Rock shirt looks like he's a fucking bass player for Megadeth.
Look at him again, cranking on the hand.
I feel like that's the way JJ used to have to try to pull Flair out of the bars. Come on, the police are coming. Come on.
Yeah, that's probably right. Lyle Alzado was here that night. We saw him get out of the limousine.
Yeah.
We saw Bruce MacArthur get out of the limousine. I thought it was really cool to see Francis Crockett get out of the limousine because, Francis hired me. And that was my first step into the world that I am in now. What would be the rest of my life, basically. Meanwhile, Tony Schiavone and Bob Caudle and Jim, listen, I made fun of this at the beginning, but Jim was very upset because, he thought he should be a play-by-play guy. And in reality, we've talked about this. He is the best one ever. And sit down, motherfucker. I'm talking about Jim Ross. Motherfucking Scatman Crothers standing up when I'm talking. Anyway, so I was talking about how good he was doing, and he was very upset. And I think if you'll recall, this may have been the last big event that I kind of did a play-by-play for. So how about that?
I guess we should mention that the Bruce MacArthur we're talking about here is the one who owns like the Blackhawks and all the sports teams in Chicago, the Chicago bigwig, not the serial killer in Toronto.
Right. And the Lex Luger, I guess, contract signing that we had was on his boat, the Blackhawk, which was docked down in Boca Raton. So that's where we did all that from. And anyway, he and Flair were buddies. They grew up together, I guess, rich kids, and grew up, sons of doctors and businessmen and all that. And they hung out together. And Bruce was a great guy. Bruce was a guy that Arn Anderson called when Arn Anderson woke up in that hotel room in Chicago after he had passed out that night. And David and I drug his drunk body to the room. Yeah. Why do they call
him the General?
The General?
Yeah.
It was a General MacArthur, right? It was kind of a play on General. Are you familiar with the World War II history?
Yeah. I just wanted you to explain that because I know that we're going to refer to him as the General later. And a lot of our listeners were born in 2002.
Yeah. And it was no, our listeners weren't born in 2002. A lot of our listeners grew up through the 90s. You fucking knucklehead.
We got young listeners too, motherfucker. They like.
Well, I know we fucking do, but still.
Hey, why don't you call the goddamn match? It's about to be fucking over.
Okay. He missed an elbow. Oh, and the women stand up and they're cheering. Can Brad do it? There's a right hand. He knocks him down. And another to the gut. Red Armstrong. Can he do it? Can he come up with a high knee lift? Oh, that drop kick didn't look too fucking good to me. But he goes back at the point of attack again. Brad Armstrong may be close to winning the U.S. Heavyweight Championship here. There's his knee lift. There it is. Cover him. Cover him. Would you fuck him? He's going to lose this match, Conrad, if he keeps fucking around here. Here he goes. Going up top. High risk maneuver. Long way to go. Oh, he got him. Cover him. 1, 2. We've got a new champion. We've got it. Fuck, it was only a 2 count. I'll go try it again. Oh, again. Barry Windham rolls him up. Oh, he's got the claw. It's the claw. It's the claw that he got from his father, Blackjack Mulligan. He got it from Killer Kowalski, who got it from Baron von Raschke, who got it from one of the guys in Texas. What's his name? Quick, help me out.
The Von Erichs.
One, the Von Erichs, right. And that's it. He pins him with the 3 count. God, I thought Brad was going to win the match. And JJ comes in. Yep. JJ needs to pull down that or button that top, man. His belly's showing here.
Let me just tell you, that fucking finish sucks. It was a great match, great open. I think the claw is the dumbest fucking move in the history of wrestling.
Oh, I know. You and I have argued to that point before. We've argued. Winner, Barry Windham.
How about the exclamation
Chiron
point?
says so. All right. So opening match had a potential to be very good, but not so much, right?